You are listening to AM Thunder, the official pay-per-view review show of Kayfabe Talk Radio. And now your hosts, Eric the Red and Mr. Bones.
And welcome everyone to this edition of AM Thunder. This is the official review from KTR of Ring of Honor Best in the World 2018. I am Eric the Red, joined along with, as always,
Mr. Bones.
And we go to this pay-per-view, which is live from Baltimore, Maryland. The place was allegedly sold out of 6,000 people, which looked like to be a great building nonetheless.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest crowds that they've had, and not quite, their New Orleans crowd, but pretty big turnout, I'd say, for Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not a sellout, but you know what? They're making the step in the right direction to eventually do bigger shows. I'm definitely, I definitely think though, from like when I looking at this production, like if I didn't really watch Ring of Honor and I saw like, oh shit, like you have all those people there, the building like looked really fucking well lit and everything. The production was like top notch. I would have been fooled and thought, oh, okay, this is probably one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year, if not their biggest. It looked bigger and a little, well, not in terms as overall card quality. Final Battle was better in my opinion, but this looked important. That's the best way to put it.
I to be honest, I would say it's well, with the overall production and everything, I would say it's comparable to like Supercard of Honor, which to date is their largest pay-per-view. But yeah, like I completely agree with you. It looked like a good production. Plenty of people there. If you're somebody who's not a a usual Ring of Honor watcher, or someone who's coming over from WWE or NXT, and you're watching this, you're gonna go in and you're gonna think, hey, this is a company that actually has some grain of what they're doing and some idea of what they're doing as a wrestling company. And that's what you kind of want nowadays, to have, if you're going to have a big indie promotion like this, some measure of, production and quality in the booking and the overall production. So kudos to them.
For sure. I mean, for me, there's a lot of talent that's in this company that I feel like they have there. It kind of feels almost like they're taking a little bit of a step more toward, hey, let's just get a lot of younger guys. Let's amp up more of the the more unknown. Best way to put it, what Ring of Honor used to be when I was watching it, the heyday, I guess you could say, of the height of the company. Well, not the height of the company. They're probably in the biggest part they are ever been now. But basically, when they had all the notable names, when I was watching during that time over a decade ago, it was like Ring of Honor was the pinnacle of the indies, where it's like, oh, you heard of Chris Hero from this territory. You heard of it's Christopher Daniels from this territory, and here they come and meet in the centerpiece of Ring of Honor, where now Ring of Honor is more of, hey, let's pull this guy, and that girl, all from all random territories you never heard of, and let's make them stars. And you know what? Kudos to a lot of these people, and I guess we could start it off with talking about some of the stars that they really are building is in the kingdom of Matt Taven, Vinny Marseglia, and TK Ryan defending the 6-man tag titles against Bushi, Evil, and Sonata of LIJ.
I mean, watching this match, I see what they're doing. I see why they're pushing these three guys. I've liked some of their work. I liked their feud, and I remember being in the crowd for Manhattan Mayhem. That was a fun match that they had with the Bullet Club. So, this was a fun opener. At no point did I believe that the LIJ was going to go over. It was a fun match nonetheless. But what do you see them doing with Matt Taven going down the line? Do you see him maybe going for maybe the TV title first and then later on a world title, or do you think they're gonna just hot shot him to the main event scene?
Well, to add a little more detail into my thoughts on what they're gonna do with him, I just got done right before we started this show. I just got done watching Ring of Honor from this week, which was episode 354 on the Fight app, and they had just filmed. Well, they had just filmed this show a month ago. This is from the June 2nd tapings in the Hammerstein Ballroom, and Matt Taven was going against from CMLL Ultimo Guerrero, and I'm sorry if people are gonna feel like they're gonna be spoiled, but I'm just gonna say it's not really that big of a surprise of who does win. But Colt Cabana and Ian Riccaboni are saying, oh, he's beaten. He has such a large winning streak now, and he's one of the 6-man tag champions. He goes, it's a matter of time before this guy gets a world title shot. And I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing. So basically, what they're doing with him, I see it right now, is that he's going to now be winning more and more and more, like he's been for the past 7 months, because they don't want him to look like a total scrub going for the world title. Because, none for none, he's not a big guy. I've been saying this about a lot of guys like Adam Cole and so on and so forth. He's not a big guy in size. Yeah, I don't know how really tall. He's probably as tall as everybody else. He's probably the average 5'11", but he's in stature. He's not a big dude. He's getting better on the promos, a lot better on promos, but he's not at that main event level.
He's not the athletic machine that like some of these other guys. Like, you could sometimes have a match where, and I mean later on they kind of proved that you can kind of do a believable match between like a big guy and a slightly smaller but more athletic and more quicker, more agile opponent. That isn't he's muscular and strong, and you can be agile guy. But if you have none of those attributes, it's kind of a boring match. So I see where you're going with that. It's the same issue, like you've said and I've said before. If you have somebody like Adam Cole, who's you can be good on the mic, but if you have no you have no physical presence, and you're kind of lumbering around like you're a heavyweight when you're the size of a cruiser. It's kind of a problem.
Unless you're a submission guy, unless you're like a guy like, I don't know, like that guy in ROH, Jonathan Gresham, who's like 5'4", but he's like a technical masterpiece, or even like a lanky fuck like Zack Sabre, where it's like, yeah, you look at him and it's like, oh man, he's like just as lanky as like Ellsworth, but holy shit, does he know how to tie you up? It's like, guys like Adam Cole and Matt Taven, it's like, yeah, they can do Shining Wizards and they can do moonsaults and that's cool, but it's like you really don't have too much of a presence of what's your strongest athletic part of you. Oh yeah, I could do this move and that move. Great, but what makes you look intimidating?
And it's like it's not. It's also just that where you have better heels in the company right now. I mean,
Yeah,
overall, you have Marty Skrull, you have Cody, you have the Briscoes, you have better heels in the company right now. So, um, he obviously he's not ready. I think they know that. So yeah, never say never. He might be a huge star a year down the road. You never know.
yeah.
Um, but if they can work their magic, if they can figure out what he needs to get himself over, who knows? I mean, I'm not against rooting for the kingdom or having having some merch from them if they end up being like a bigger commodity. They've had fun matches. I'm definitely not against maybe putting on a smaller like a maybe a TV title or something later on, like he could feud with maybe Hangman Page or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
if you give him
but
the TV title, fine. But I don't know. It's just right now I don't see him as a heavyweight guy. I don't see TK, a guy like TK, another one who he's just there. TK Ryan is one of these guys where I hate to say it, if you were to take him out and switch him with another blonde guy, people probably would have not noticed. The person, honestly, in my opinion, that makes that gimmick is that Vinny dude, because he has a presence about him. He comes out with the it gimmick. He looks like fucking Rob Zombie. Like, he has a character behind him, and he's the most legitimate looking out of the three. If that
see,
was the
that's
guy
just,
going out there, and you're like, oh yeah, he's beating Jay White, and he's pinning Ultimo Guerrero, and he's pinning Bushi, and he's pinning this guy and that guy, and he's getting upsets on Cody and Jay Lethal, I'd be like, okay, the guy looks insane.
but that's the thing that I don't get sometimes, where you have a guy that looks crazy and looks like an intimidating dude, who later on can be somebody who they book to be like that top guy. It's the same situation where I'm going to make a minor, because I mean we obviously compared him to Adam Cole, but that's the same way I feel about Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Like Kyle O'Reilly has everything everything they need, because he has the charisma. Like obviously Adam Cole has maybe a little bit better charisma in terms of mic skills, but overall I think he's much more polished in the ring than an Adam Cole. So I feel the exact same way with Undisputed Era in NXT as you do about the Kingdom and Ring of Honor. So it's just another one of those things where maybe I hate to beat a dead horse, but it's the same Roman issue.
Yeah.
Do you push Seth Rollins or do you push Roman Reigns?
Yeah. It's just, yeah. I mean, but and another thing too, to stick someone in the confines of this match, and I really, honestly, I have no really big opinion. What you said about the match was exactly that. It was an opener match. There really wasn't too much here to that caught my eye as far as to go, oh man, this was a standout. It was what I expected. It was a good match, but Bushi is definitely positioned as the guy to eat the pins, 100%, because all four of those guys are built up so strong that now Bushi has to be the guy to lose all the time now. If that group ever
you know what?
loses.
This the sad thing about the luchadors now in general. If your name isn't Rey Mysterio, you're eating a pin 9 times out of 10. And I hate to say it.
Well, or unless you're Pentagon,
Oh yeah, if you're Rey Mysterio, Pentagon, one of those top tier guys, if you're not you're eating a pin. And I hate to say it, but really, if you think about it, anytime Ring of Honor brings people in, anytime New Japan brings people in, WWE, ha ha ha, yeah, no. If you're not in Lucha Underground and you're a luchador, you're eating the pin. Hate to say it.
Yeah, exactly. Now we go to Finn Lip Gordon versus Bully Ray, where Bully Ray wins by disqualification, and why this was a normal match is beyond me.
I get what they're doing. I get that they're building a feud.
Yeah, I get
That,
this. Yeah, I get the story too.
I get the story. It's just, did you really need to have a match? You could have furthered the thing rather than doing a match, but whatever. It doesn't make any. I can't really get mad about it because, to be honest, it doesn't make Flip look weak. He looked like a badass. He looked incredibly strong. That Bully Ray had a freaking, low blow him and get disqualified because he was afraid of being pinned normally. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. That it other than that, it's a situation where did the match really need to happen? But it's a storyline progression thing, and I'm
not against.
sure.
I'm not. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to ask you what your dad's reaction when Cheeseburger came out and started to fight with Bully Ray, because that was the point that my fucking eyes almost rolled into the back of my head.
All right, so basically, this was his reaction, and this is why I'm getting that. I'm not against him doing this match. What I'm saying is, okay, the whole story here for 2 months now. 2 months they've been building into this of Bully Ray attacking Cheeseburger, attacking all these fucking quote unquote young boys, and it's to get to Flip Gordon because he's sick of the entitled generation, the millennial wrestlers that are doing quote unquote flips, no pun intended, to get noticed when he feels like, this, that, and that's wrong with whatever the fuck. So, and the whole thing is him just being undermined, and he's constantly putting guys through tables. And he brings the table anyway, so when he brought the table out, my dad's just like, why the hell did they bother just doing a 5-minute match without weapons involved?
If they had done that, then if they had done a street fight match, one, they were already doing a gimmick match like that later on, and two, he can't get his comeuppance this quickly. He has to. There has to be some build up and payoff, for all his stupid bullshit.
Maybe they'll do a tables match.
I can't fault them for wanting to build, and that's what they've been doing. I do not get what the fuck they're doing with. This is the one thing I'm going to complain about. Are they continuing the feud with him and Flip, or are they going to jettison that and it's going to be him and Colt Cabana? Because Colt gets up out of the announcer's table and goes after him with the chair. So are they building that? Or are they building up another confrontation at like a street fight, or a last man standing, or a first blood match between him and Flip? Because that's what I'm getting from it.
But now you see where I'm coming from. You could have did a brawl, and yes, they could have done 2 brawls on the show because Hangman and Punishment offered something different than this match. That match was a lot longer, had a lot more brutality involved. This could have been a simple chair shot to the back, a table bump. That's it. It could have been done, boom, boom. Flip Gordon couldn't deal with the ECW psychopath of Bully Ray. And then here comes Colt Cabana to build to a new fucking feud. Because that's what I didn't get. I don't get why you have to have 3 people. You have to have 3 to 4 people come out for one guy. And it's like, who is Bully feuding with if he has no other fucking person coming out here with? Like, I don't know. It was a little bit of a cluster to me. And, that's all I'll say outside of this. But I'd like to see where it goes. I will say that. I'm interested to see who he's feuding with.
I'm trying to see where they're going. Because, again, I agree with you where it's confusing because they haven't really stated what they're doing. Is he feuding again with Flip? Is he feuding with? Is he gonna feud with Colt, or is it a situation where he's gonna lose and he's gonna be badly hurt, and then they're all gonna come out and wail the shit out of him? Because I feel like that is gonna be the blow off. That's gonna be the blow off match where it's gonna be like a street fight or a first blood match, some kind of gimmick match, and Bully's gonna get the shit kicked out of him, and then they're all gonna come out and just fuck the shit out of him. I have a feeling that's what they're building towards, and if that's the case, so be it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a gimmick match. I'm not gonna hold it against them. I will say one thing. I did like the reaction that the crowd had when Bully tried to hit the Vader bomb.
Yes, that was really classy, and you knew, like when he did that, I was like, obviously I was all for it. I was popping for that, and I was like, man, Bully, even when Bully is trying to be a dick, he still has to be respectful. Like,
yeah, I thought that was a classic move. Other than that, nothing much here.
But we go on to the next match though, which I thought would have been the sleeper match of the night, but holy shit, was this not what I expected? Which was the 8-women tag match, which the baby faces of Jenny Rose, Sumi Sakai, who is the WOH champion, Iwatani, and Tennille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma. They beat the heels of Kelly Klein and Hazuki Kagetsu and Hana Kimura.
I didn't think it was going to be this good. I mean, I'm so used to Ring of Honor. Women of Honor being kind of the mediocre product. Not as far bad. Not as bad as the main roster for WWE, but not great. Not quite knockouts, and somewhere in between, you have knockouts, NXT, and then you have Women of Honor, and then you have WWE. So that's they haven't had a really great showing, and this, I think this is the first time I went, oh shit, maybe they have something here.
Yeah, I gotta tell you though, I think from that heel team, the shining star is the chick with the face paint, Kagetsu. She put a lot of male wrestlers to shame.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with some of the moves she was doing.
This match, and my dad fucking popped for this too. This match is like an old school, like what me and him used to, like me and my dad when I was, starting to get more into like Japanese wrestling as a teenager. He had me watching just random people, like random fucking Japanese women wrestle, and this took me back to some of those where it's like, yeah, it's okay to just watch a bunch of Japanese girls who you don't even know just beat the shit out of each other for the idea of, yeah, women can be tougher than men.
Yeah, well, it harkens back to especially a lot of the Alundra Blaze era WWE matches, the matches like
Bull Nakano,
Bull Nakano,
Asia Khan.
Yeah, even your 2000s era, knockouts, something like you said, Awesome Kong.
Yeah, Amazing Kong, Awesome Kong, whatever you want to call her. Yeah, Gail. Well, Gail came into that list. ODB, I would add into that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential now. Seeing this, I like the interaction with Stardom. Again, I want it to be more a situation like this where bring all these girls back. You could mix it up again, do 6 girl, 8 girl, whatever, and then even get more people that we never heard of that will impress the crowd. Because again, I was just really fucking shocked at how,
Yeah, last couple matches, like I remember just. I remember even Mayhem, my girlfriend was like, this is their women's division. She was just so unimpressed. It wasn't a bad match, but she was like, okay, what is the overall attraction here? Most of them aren't like super 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 attractive women, so you're not watching it for fat bait. You're supposed to take that. This is supposed to be legitimate wrestling, and they're not, doing legitimate wrestling. You're doing baby half-ass shit, and now it's finally like, oh wait, they're actually putting effort into this now. So, kudos.
Yeah, and I was even the 20-year-olds, the girls on the heel team, the you had the one skinny one, and you had the other one that kind of looked like Katrina from Lucha Underground. Like, those two girls were both in their 20s that Ian Riccaboni had said, and they were even really fucking good. Sumi Sakai also, like, I think she's really talented. I just don't think. I think maybe get her into a good feud sooner rather than later for the WOH belt.
Yeah, I feel like that belt's been underutilized.
She's gonna. The thing is, there's no emotional investment with her. It's, get her in good, have the good matches now, sure, but eventually that belt's got to come off of her. She's got to get into a feud. Something's got to change. Whether it be someone turns heel to get her sympathy, or she turns heel to get the person over, I don't know. But she looks like she's a veteran. She looks like she could do a good job regardless. I have a trust in the fact that she's a veteran to do that. So
going forward, I hope they figure out a way to do that. I mean, even if they have to do their own subdivision or have something where they they should learn learn bits and pieces, because Ring of Honor has the opportunity, because they were late in the game in terms of doing the whole women's division, and I think they need to learn a couple lessons from all the previous women's feds and divisions out there. Yeah. And they'll if they continue to do what they've done, especially in this match. I think Women of Honor is going to have a bright future.
Right now they have a bright future. You know, I mean, again, right now I'd say like I stand by it that the bright women, the bright, you know, shining part of the women's wrestling right now is Impact as well as NXT. Um, I mean, Impact to me overall has the edge, but NXT has a lot of bright, you know, has a bright future with the women. Obviously with Baszler as champ, and then Impact with Su Yung as champ. But yeah, for the, you know, to close it off about this match, you know, like I said, solid match. I was, you know, highly impressed with how good it was, and Subi Sakai needs to get into a feud already. So. Then, I guess we go to Austin Aries versus Kenny King in a little bit of a grudge match. This match I can fill in here. These two have been a tag team, or as well, you know, more of a group, I guess you could say. While Aries was ROH champ for the second time, I want to say, and back around like 08, 09, Kenny King and Rhett Titus were kind of his lackeys at that point. And now it's a thing where, you know, they were in TNA together and they had a friendship there, and then here you thought they were even buddies, but then all of a sudden Aries turns on him, and Kenny King's pissed because, you know, he feels like Aries thinks that Kenny's always going to be below him, and Kenny wants to prove that he's an equal. So the story's, in my opinion, really well done.
I would say, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but it's just basically what this boils down to. And I know that this whole backstory, they were former friends, former, teammates, but when I look at this, and I look at and this kind of falls back into the women's division in WWE. This is how I feel they should have done the whole Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss feud.
What, where like
in terms of how they should have booked it, how they should have progressed the storyline, rather than be like, oh, you're just a fatty and I don't like you. It should have had some kind of emotional stakes, like, okay, you're not beneath me, I was using you, you're not even smart enough for me to be on the same level as you. I'm a multi-time champion. They should have had some more layer to it, like how they're doing this feud. And I give not only just the, you kind of sometimes think Kenny King is, he's kind of like a lumbering oaf, but I mean that's also the kind of the persona, and I think he was portraying it very well, as like making himself look kind of like goofy and not too bright, at selling himself as like goofy and not too bright, or a lumbering idiot, heel. I mean, a lumbering idiot face. So I thought that was a good way of portraying the match. And then you have Austin Aries just being such a piece of shit in general, and having this mentality that he wants to just break him as another trophy that he can add to his list of accomplishments, and alongside of all his belts. So I really enjoyed this. I thought this was a good storyline. And again, I think when I think back and I see some previous storylines that kind of mirror it, I just think, why couldn't it have been like that instead?
Right. I will say though, I'm starting to get the vibe that everyone else is now with Aries, where it's like his TV persona's really like meshing well with all like what the dirt sheets and everyone says about him, where it's like, yeah, Aries is a piece of shit. No one wants to be around him. It's like, man, his TV persona is really fitting with what people are talking about.
Well, sometimes they. Yeah, I mean, and then this is usually the one of the bigger pieces of advice that most wrestlers will tell you in terms of like crafting heel persona or heel or face persona. It's usually you craft a character, but a lot of the time the character is just a different facet of your own personality. You're playing yourself,
Right.
a lot of the time, and we've heard things that are situations Austin Aries has gotten into. I mean, I think you've met him personally. I think you talked to him and he was okay in person, but
I've met him plenty of times. I mean, I never really. I guess the way I say it is like I never put myself in a scenario, just by circumstance, to where Aries would look at me and go, "Oh well, this guy's a fucking asshole in my eyes." To where I would look at him and go, "Oh, you're an asshole in my eyes." I've always been kind of cool, I guess I could say. Anytime I've had an interaction with Aries, I mean, I'm not here to brag. Again, I'm not gonna even talk about all the interactions I had with him. But basically, I've had plenty of interactions with him online. Had met him a lot of times, even once at my job, or one of the jobs I used to work at. He used to, when he was working for Impact, he used to hang out at Ken Anderson's condo in fucking Jersey City. And this, I'm not gonna say the name, the year, or all that shit, but he stopped by once when they were about to do TV tapings in fucking New York, and I saw him and talked to him, and he was cool. Clearly he seemed like he just wanted to fucking rush the hell away out, and that's fine. He's probably busy, but but no, anytime I've came across from like other people, they've always said, like he's kind of like a weird dude, or like he's kind of just, he's not good to the other boys, which I could believe that. I could totally believe that.
I think he kind of has this personality. Like and then people usually, like, because he physically looks a lot like CM Punk, so it's a weird situation where they kind of, like, Punk has already gone like a negative rap with some of the boys in general, so
yeah, it's like you're just looking at another CM Punk, and it's like. He has that like Punk has the reputation and Aries has the reputation. It's like, oh, anyone that literally looks like that looks like an asshole.
Yeah, kind of.
Not to mention Jake Briscoe has the same
that
face.
Could also be something where the boys just in general don't, because there's certain like people that get a negative rap just because they're they're a little standoffish, a little shy. They don't want to talk, or because over the years we've heard plenty of cases where people were never as bad as some people have said. Exaggeration, or just the fact that they thought that they're better than me, or they're trying to steal my spot. Sometimes that could be the case. I mean, how many people have said, "Oh, Goldberg is a piece of shit," and now in present time, people are like, "Oh, he's not that bad." So sometimes it's the eye of the beholder. Some people like him, some people don't.
It's this, but, what? The Stray Ray real quick, just because we're kind of right now speaking upon like wrestlers' interactions with fans, so this is kind of fitting. This is like that whole like Sasha Banks scandal where it's like, yeah, I'm not really that crazy. You and I are both really annoyed with her character on television. She should be a heel. However, I'm totally on her side when it comes to people approaching her at 4 o'clock in the morning at an airport with a carry-on of like 108x10s with like at least 5 to 10 of them being her face, waiting to get signed so they could throw it on eBay for $50. Like, yeah,
that's something that I would be frustrated or annoyed with, because yeah, I can see a wrestler being pissed off about that. I have an issue where someone says something online and then suddenly, you know, if you're posting an opinion or whatever, that's that, and we're going into a rant here, but you know, if it's an opinion and the person's just like, oh, you know, that's something completely different. But yeah, if you're invading someone's personal space or you're camping out at the fucking airport at like 4 or 5 a.m. and you know, yeah, I would have reason to be pissed off. You know, I think anyone would.
yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of disgusting behavior, and I think sometimes that's also kind of why. That's also kind of why fans, you know, wrestling fans in general tend to be kind of vilified. You know,
You know, I can almost
we're looked at as toxic as a community.
I can almost respect casuals, and I think maybe this is sometimes why wrestling, coincidentally goes towards casual viewers, because anytime I've heard people that like, or like friends that I know that don't watch wrestling and they or never did ever, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I saw Kevin Nash at Buffalo Wild Wings, or I saw Triple H in New York. It's like, oh, did you say anything to them? I'm like, yeah, I said hello to them, and I didn't want a picture, I didn't want to be rude. It's like, casual people are more respectful, where it's like wrestling fans are like, oh my god, I gotta have a piece of paper right now, and I have to have a selfie, and then I have to go hurry up and get an 8x10. It's like, wrestling fans legit have no fucking, they have no chill. They have absolutely no chill whatsoever.
But that's a generalization, because if I saw something like
I've been to enough shows. I've seen it firsthand. It's a generalization, but it's not wrong.
The vast majority of the fans are going to do it because it's how they are.
I am not wrong when I say that. It's totally
I would not do that, because these guys are fucking traveling like on the road all the fucking time. Like it's like one thing, like, not for nothing, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say before. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna fucking want to like meet somebody, rather than give him a fucking thing to autograph, why don't you just be a nice person? If you're gonna if you want to have an interaction with somebody you're a fan of, what the hell, rather than just go and fucking bother them at like fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, why don't you just wait out and okay, when they're going into their, I don't know, when they're going into the Coliseum or when they're going into the arena, wherever the hell they're going, just do something nice. Make like a poster or say, hey, I love that match you did. Just have a normal reaction as a fan, and show appreciation for their work, but don't hound them. That's what people should do.
I'm gonna bring this up quick, and then we're gonna get back into closing out this match with Aries and Kenny King. I don't know if you saw this or heard about it, but at like one of the recent autograph signings for I don't know if it was a WWE thing or if it was just an offshoot thing, but that Becky Lynch was at. But Becky Lynch was at a signing, and then a fan just decides to give her a like a one of the Pearl Jam vinyls because she's like a huge Pearl Jam fan. And like I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. I thought it was like, oh shit, it's like,
See, that's something nice. That's
yeah,
a nice like fan
like
reaction.
everyone was shitting on it. Everyone was like, man, that dude spent all that money and all he got was a hug. And then people were like, oh man, that dude thought he was getting laid. And people were like, oh, why would you buy her a shitty album? It's like, dude, it's the nicest thing. I'm like, you guys would have never even thought of doing anything that nice.
Yeah, but like that's just a nice gesture. Like that's like doing fan like to me that's like up there with like doing fan art of somebody or do like making somebody something and like presenting them.
Yeah,
Like
and
that's something from the heart. That's a
yeah.
fan. That's somebody saying I appreciate what you do. I like your work. I respect you as a professional. Here's something nice. And that's what I think a lot of these fans should realize is maybe like people like to shit on some of these wrestlers and they say, oh, they're this guy's a piece of shit, this guy's a piece of shit. Okay, maybe if you
You
didn't
did something
have
nice.
a fucking million, yeah, if you were nicer and you didn't have a million other fucking fans constantly shitting on the guy all the time,
Yeah, like
you
when
know.
like one things I liked it I liked that I did at a lot of these indie shows, and this is another thing why, and really the person ironically it started with was Aries, where I was making South Parks of these wrestlers and they were all on my Facebook page, and some people had told me, and I think actually Earls was the first one who told me, like, hey, why don't you send these to some of the guys? So the first one I sent was Austin Aries. He made it his fucking profile picture while he was in Impact. And this was like 7 years ago. And he commented on my post, and I can even eventually provide the fucking screenshot because I'm not kidding. He says, thanks for the new background or the profile picture. So, yeah, a guy like that who has a supposed bad reputation was happy. Was happy that someone did something cool and something different and something nice. I can name a lot of people that even work for WWE that I've sent them shit like that. And it's like, guys, you don't have to do much. Just do something nice because they feel like they're doing everything for everyone else. At least give back to them.
Yeah, even if it's a nice, like, okay, you go on a crowd, okay, and sometimes this is like they're not always gonna like. We as fans think we're gonna get instant gratification. I did art recently and I posted it onto Twitter. I didn't get a reaction, but I didn't go and flip out and go, oh, fuck you, you guys didn't. They're busy.
It'll eventually
they're
happen.
busy. Yeah, they're busy most of the year. If they, they might respond to maybe 10 tweets out of the bunch, because how many, like, they get thousands of different tweets per day, per hour. So, yeah, I'm not going to go and flip out and go, oh, fuck you, you didn't respond back. It is what it is. But
yeah,
most fans think that they're the only person on Earth, and they're supposed to be, they're the ones that are supposed to be, waited on, beck and called by this a professional wrestler, and they're just doing their fucking job. It's a situation where we as a community need to learn how to be less toxic, not only to other wrestling fans, but also to
each other.
Other wrestling fans, but also to the fucking talent itself.
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, that's a topic actually we can add upon on KTR. So you know what? Fuck it. We'll add it to a KTR topic at some point. But anyway, Aries goes over via Brainbuster, and Another really good back and forth match. I liked that they did the. I liked the brainbuster spot on the floor. That was pretty wicked. Um, but I will ask you, what's your thought of Aries getting booked everywhere?
I'm actually surprised. In a weird way, I could definitely see him like later on. Not now. Maybe next year or the year after that. Maybe considering he's doing the whole title collection gimmick. I could definitely see him maybe doing a run as the NWA champion.
Oh, you think that too, huh?
Yeah, I could definitely see
Yeah.
that happen.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, Austin Aries' modern gimmick stinks of NWA champion.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would kind of mark out for that just for the idea of seeing the NWA title back on Impact.
yeah, that'd be really weird because he would be Impact champion and the NWA champion, which
It's oh,
that that
it's
hasn't
different
that
lineage.
whole lineage
It is different.
is. I know the whole lineage is I know it is there's an issue because it originally was, but that it that hasn't been that hasn't been unified since Christian, right?
Well, okay, when they had the NWA title, they vacated it to debut the TNA title with a new
And
lineage.
then that was Kurt Angle, right?
Yeah, so they retired
Kurt
the
Angle
belt. Say,
yeah.
well, yeah, I can't say they vacated it; they retired it. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, I would be all for that. I'd love to see Aries eventually, because I'm still a fan. I know, I get where people are coming from, but I'm still a fan of his. I still enjoy watching his work. I think his band sucks, but that music he goes out to is his band, and I just think he's not a good singer. But I mean, that's okay. Like,
Well, I mean, whatever he wants to come out with,
no, yeah.
yeah.
If anything, it adds more to the ambience of, man, this guy's a tool.
Well, no, it also makes him like a complete narcissist
Yeah.
because he's not great. Like he's not great. Like he's not good. Like he's not like a Chris Jericho that has like a good musical. He has great musical talent and has a good ear. So it makes him look even more narcissistic because he's coming out with like mediocre music, but it's his mediocre music. So I think it works. I think it works. I still think like and I know this. I know this is the thing that bothers you. This guy is going to end up with all these belts,
And he still couldn't get the 205 title.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. And the deal breaker on that was someone wrote, "I hope Aries realizes that all these belts combined have less meaning than a toy belt from Walmart." Which is, it sucks to I think it's not nice because the Impact's trying. I'm giving them another fucking umpteenth chance. They are doing good. One of the belts I think is Defiant, which is formerly known as What Culture, which is a great company. And then his other belt, World Series Wrestling, that I just recently started getting into from Australia, is another really good company. So, I'm every belt he's holding is a company that is good. But yeah, it's still a testament of he never got that belt. He's gonna forever carry that unless he ever does go back or they bring him back and he ever were to get that. But
I mean, I honestly do think if they brought in the only way I would say that they would fix that is if they ended up bringing in Neville and then they let him beat Neville. Because it was less the belt and more Neville. And Neville was the guy that was undefeatable. But then at the
Akira,
same time, you had him lose to fucking.
Akira Tozawa, you had him lose to Akira Tozawa and Kalisto, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry, not Kalisto. I don't think I'm. No.
No, you had him lose
Enzo.
to.
Enzo.
Yeah.
That's right. Kalisto beat Enzo. That's right.
Say soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab a
Who,
ma. Consensual penis. Now we go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say outside of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Enzo, I hate to break it to you, buddy. I don't think you're doing too hot with the rapping either.
You know what, Pat? All right, for everyone listening to this rendition here of Am Thunder, me and Pat will have on the download your weekly episode of KTR, which will probably be a shorter one, but we will open up talking about Enzo's rap career in length. We're going to review his second song.
Oh, just fucking kill me. just end me. If that's wrestling news, I'm just gonna fucking end it. Just fucking end it.
All right, well,
post the pictures on Twitter.
Well, we're going to well, anyway, we gotta get back on tangent here. So next up, we had a really fun match, which was Kushida versus Jay Lethal. The pacing was a little slow at first, but they were building up to a 20-minute match, so you can't really blame them. Their styles are very similar. I will say that too. The way they carry themselves in the ring are very similar to each other's.
Is it weird though? Like, and this is the thing. Kushida's been this baby face for so fucking long, and he's always worked as a baby face. So it's kind of weird for him to get that heel vibe out of him.
I've seen it. I've seen it with him and Will Ospreay. I've seen it with him. In the Best of the Super Juniors, he had to heal it up. But Jay Lethal too is working the leg, so both of them were kind of taking turns back and forth on kind of being heelish. Jay Lethal was wearing that leg a while.
I noticed nowadays where it's like that used to just be a heel thing where you would work the leg or work a body part. Now it's kind of become where it's just becoming a common practice for a wrestler to do something like that, where it doesn't really mean that the person's heel or not.
Right.
I guess it's just a measure of brutality of wrestling nowadays, but
yeah, well, it's psychology. It's to tell a story.
Yeah, but for me it's weird because you got this guy who's doing a Back to the Future gimmick, and he's fucking basically refusing to shake hands, and he's kind of like making throwing shade to this freaking. I almost wish he would have done like some of that fucking black and cheesy mode. That he's been doing on.
I was waiting for Kushida to put Jay in the nerve hold on his left shoulder, and him to go, Ricky the Dragon, yeah.
Oh my god, that would have been fucking amazing.
And then they just start recreating WrestleMania 3 right there. And he just yells out, when's Georgie coming out? Yeah.
Oh god. I'm just picturing I'm just picturing at some point like Jay Lethal just having that happen and him just running out of the fucking arena with uh with with uh uh Brandy on his shoulders going, I gotta hide Miss Elizabeth. Junkyard Dog is making eyes on her again. I hate this movie.
And then Cody runs after her, and then gets Jay. He goes, Jay, what the fuck are you doing with my wife? And he's going, oh, I thought he grabbed Elizabeth. I didn't know they were sweet sapphire. My bad dream, yeah. He's like, Sapphire, you're looking really good. If I say so myself, yeah, but don't tell Elizabeth.
Oh God, I wish they would do that on Being the Elite. Oh man.
The shit they did with Harry was that was great. But yeah, no, I wish they did something here with Kushida playing off as Steamboat. Earls would have been like, Kushida's my hero now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but yeah, man, fucking stiff fucking match. You know, Kushida, like you said, was healing it up. He's, you know, fucking slapping Lethal in the face. They're kicking each other back and forth. This was a match you would see in fucking Japan.
So that's the thing. I kind of wish, Lethal or one of these other guys other than the Bullet Club could go to Japan. And
I mean, he used to, but I don't know. For some reason, he hasn't been there in a while, other than the Honor Rising show that they do.
Yeah, I mean, I would even really dig, like, hey, I mean, go him or maybe Dalton Castle. I mean, I would definitely love to see Dalton go over to New Japan, have a match over there. Especially if I would personally love to see him take on Jericho.
Oh yeah. But next match was probably your match of the night and my match of the night. We had
oh wow, this was a brutal fucking match.
For the TV championship, we had Punishment Martinez defending the belt against Hangman, and right quick before the match, we had a tremendous entrance from Punishment. I'm gonna call it right now. I see him getting called into NXT within another year or two.
Yeah, I can definitely see that too.
They're going to make him into an Undertaker.
Yeah, I especially I don't see Lars Sullivan staying in NXT for much longer.
Nah, so, that's 2003 Kane.
I could definitely see you definitely see them moving Lars Sullivan up, and if they're gonna definitely need somebody else who's this devastating heel character, and
yeah,
I hate to see it, but the next time they do an Exodus, if Corbin isn't learning how to like fix his gimmick and work better,
he's too busy being corporate Kane.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with the suit and everything? Is that
I don't know.
What the hell's up with that now?
I don't. Dude, he's trying to be. They're calling him Constable Corbin, like I think they call Constipation Corbin. I'm sorry. The shave head finally, but it's like you can't come in out there with a really cool song. Because again, I really like his song because I like that band, but It's just you can't come out there with the lyrics going, "I am the darkness" and "I'm this and that," and then coming out there looking like fucking Corporate Kane fucked Dewey from Scary Movie.
Oh,
Like,
and then you have a baby. You have basically like Photoshop copy of King Maxwell, and they just like put it on a human body.
yeah, when meanwhile you have fucking that guy Luchasaurus in Lucha Underground, and then you have Punishment Martinez here, and it's like one of these things is not like the other. Two of these things will kill you, and the other one will listen to a Nickelback album.
Oh boy, that's throwing some shade, bro. That's throwing some major fucking shade.
And again, I talk this shit about Corbin, and it's like, again, he got better, but it's still, he does not look tough. Punishment Martinez looks and sounds like he will fucking kill you in the back alley of fucking New Mexico. Like,
yeah, he looks like he would bleed you out just because you dare to like go in the back alley of a fucking like strip club.
The
and
mother
he will fucking like stab you to death.
The motherfucker.
And then Luchasaurus looks like the type of guy that like is the top of the food chain in a prison. Like if you go and you look at like you go to a Mexican prison and they got like all this like like the freaking Latin King or like the I forgot what the hell that Peruvian gang is. It looks like somebody you would hire in like a Mexican prison to like murder a bunch of people. just straight up like strangle people in the like. It looks like a fucking Punisher villain. Like he's just straight up looks like a Punisher villain.
Yeah. Yeah, but dude, fucking Punishment Martinez chokeslammed Adam Page, and he was just like, "I'm just gonna throw him, and I don't care if he hits the railing or the floor."
I like so much of this match. I love how brutal
that spot scared me though. That spot, I was like, as much as I love both these guys, when I saw that they were like, he's looking at the railing and then he just puts him down on the floor, I was like, where were you going to put him? Like that spot, like as a human being, that spot just scared me. I was like, where are you going to put him? You could have just choked him and threw him back into the railing, and then just, or taken a guardrail and choked him on the guardrail, flat. You didn't, I don't know.
I will say one thing about Punishment. Sometimes his matches, he can be a little bit sloppy. I've seen a couple of his matches. He's a good worker. I just think he can be sloppy sometimes, or he can be a little bit careless.
He's been around a long time too, so it's. I mean, he's kind of new to like this scene, but like, yeah, he's been around. He's been in the business since like 2005.
No, I'm not saying that he's a bad worker. I'm just saying he has like kind of like the syndrome of he's a good worker, but
he's intense.
He's intense, but then he's also prone to botches. So it's a situation like kind of like a Sasha Banks where you're going to get a good match, but is it going to be completely flawless? No. And there's always going to be the possibility that, considering his size, considering his arsenal or his moveset, there's always the possibility that someone could get really hurt.
But you know what? In a street fight too, sometimes it's okay to do crazy spots. Like, and this had plenty of,
I definitely like the shooting star attempt off the apron.
Yeah.
The superplex off the guardrail.
The railing, yeah. Um, even the fucking spot where they broke the table into the corner.
Yeah, that was fucking brutal looking. And like even the normal like just chops and strikes look devastating. And they didn't really need to do a lot. Like this was it was in the vein of the Ciampa and Gargano match.
Without the story, though.
Without the story, but it had the brutality because both these guys are fucking brutal killers, and it's a situation where you're taking two fucking beasts and you're putting them together and just letting them slug it out. And um, I just want to say, like, Adam Page, Hangman Page has grown so much in the past year.
And
He
no, I got it.
no, that's fine.
No, I was gonna say no. To add to your point, the scary part is he's only my age too. He's only 26 years old.
He's gone really good, and he sky's the limit. Especially if he ever ended up going to WWE, he is basically the prototype of everything Vince would be looking for in a top main event guy.
And I'm not saying this. Well, no, continue.
Because I mean, I'm not hoping for that, because I think at some point I could definitely see him, because he's in a situation where he's a Bullet Club member, he's a popular fixture of being the elite, he's he has a fan base. Like, he's not as popular as you know Marty or the Bucks or Kenny or Cody, but he's still a mainstay fixture of the Bullet Club, and he's getting better. He's doing all these crazy spots. He's very very coordinated in the ring. There's a lot of spots that could have went really bad, and I think he has the ability to turn something into, turn these dangerous spots into something where, like you see, sometimes you see a professional like a Cesaro that is in a situation where they're gonna take a major bump, and not in a good way, and they have the ability and the um kind of the veteran sense to fix their trajectory of how they're going to land. So the fact that he's able to do this, and especially since he's again still so young, he's just only 26, and and I could definitely see the guy, if he ever ended up going to WWE, if he went to NXT and then later on into the main roster, he looks like somebody that Vince would be like, yeah, push him.
Well, I'm also not saying this because of the whole WWE thing, but I am saying this has been a thought of mine probably since we saw Paige do the moonsault off the balcony. My thought is, as impressive as everything looks now, and as much as he's impressed people, imagine how impressive everything would look if he did all that shit while looking like how Michael Elgin looks now.
Yeah.
Like, him just jumping off of balconies and shit and doing all these moonsaults while being fucking jacked to the gills, kind of like in like the shape of like Benoit, with the intensity he has now. That would like be the complete package of like, yeah, this guy's a fucking killer. And no pun intended, But yeah, no, it would he would legit look like a ultimate fucking ass kicker.
He already has the height. He's still, like, he has a good physique. I mean, I don't even think he needs to put any more muscle on, but
I'm just saying it would add to the intensity factor.
true. I think you've already kind of discussed why somebody shouldn't have a physique like a Guerrero or a Benoit.
Well, I'm talking about without the steroids, dude. There's a way in this world to look like Brian Cage without steroids. You know, like, dude, I will say one thing about BTE that I saw. I don't know if it was 108 or it could have been 108, but I saw like them. I saw like Marty next to the Bucks, and I saw like the Bucks' arms. I'm like, fuck, like they're fucking getting jacked.
Yeah. They have been like, especially considering that like the Briscoes are way bigger than they are,
Oh
and they
yeah,
look in comparison they like their width of their bodies was very comparable.
I'm glad, and by the way, and a great segue, and by and to close off this past match, the ending spot was Hangman going into Punishment getting body backdropped into the thumbtacks, and then Hangman goes through a table via South of Heaven chokeslam with Punishment retaining. Brutal fucking way to end the match.
I also kind of like the idea of um it was in a way it also was a double pin because both men had their shoulders down.
Right.
So I really enjoyed the fact that Punishment still retains because it's a double pin,
Yeah.
but then they're also setting up another match later on because obviously they're gonna have to they're gonna have to work with this where they're gonna have to say, well, you're gonna have to have whatever what's the next Ring of Honor pay per view after this?
I'm actually not sure. I could find that out real quick. Let's see. Do do do. Okay, house show. It looks like actually the next big thing, Ring of Honor related, is All In.
Huh. Okay, I could definitely. I mean, do they have? Is Punishment booked for that card or?
No, not sure yet. Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
And then
If
after that
not,
is
then
the
if
after
not,
that
they'll
is
probably do something where, um, either leading up to it, or they might end up doing. I don't think they're gonna do a feud. I think there's a pay per view a couple months before Final Battle, so they might.
there, dude. There has to be.
I doubt they're gonna. I doubt they're gonna wait. If it was a main title, if it was a main title. I could see them waiting that long to like if it was the if it was the Ring of Honor champion, like the heavyweight championship. I would say I would say that they would probably wait for that. You know,
Yeah,
I don't see them going all the way to doing this feud all the way into like Final Battle. So I think it maybe at one of the house shows, or if they have him booked for All In, I think he's gonna drop the belt at some point. I don't see if they did this whole gimmick here. I don't think they're gonna end up having a situation where the storyline doesn't make any fucking sense, and then they're just gonna let it go for how many months.
right.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, going back into what we were talking about before with the Young Bucks and the Briscoes.
Yeah, which is our next match to talk about.
I mean, it's these guys. I mean, this is probably one of the bigger tag team rivalries in all of Ring of Honor and in general that these guys have been rivals for you know
For fucking
for
years and years
years,
and
like
years and
close to
years.
it. Like going on to like half a decade that these guys have been going at each other, or even longer. And these four guys, and I love that like the crowd is kind of like there's like a mix of chants, and the Briscoes just generally are playing the unflappable heels where they do not give a shit what the crowd thinks one way or the other, and a lot of you know uh, brutal counters and you know I love how they're playing that like the Bucks are still as big as they've been getting. They're still the more athletic of the
Of the
the two teams, and the
yeah.
like Matt and Nick are doing these spots off the ropes, and they're the either Jay or Mark or they're basically countering everything and hitting them with these fucking brutal lariats or chops, and they're getting in each other's face and um I thought that like that whole sequence at the end and what were your thoughts on the match?
Well, you know, like I was saying before, it's like the Bucks, they're starting, they're transitioning into this heavyweight style, and it's still like they still got ways to go because especially when to a guy like Jay Briscoe, who is so fucking intense in the way he carries himself, who he looks like he just came out of fucking 25 years in prison. Um, just everything about him looks like he just got out of prison. And he also has the same face as CM Punk and Austin Aries. Uh, the same exact, like all these dudes, from like ROH 2004 have the same face. I don't know why, but yeah, but so
It's like
nah,
how everybody in WWE looks like Heath Slater.
yeah, yeah. Like everyone here looks like CM Punk. Everybody in WWE looks like Heath Slater. And now for some reason in Impact, everyone has a mask.
Oh god, next you're gonna tell me everybody in New Japan looks like Shibata.
No, that would be my dad. Yeah, but dude, these teams on fucking match chemistry as far as tag team wrestling goes. Like these are, and you know what? You could tell like they've had so many matches. I'm convinced at this point they're not in the ring calling these spots anymore. They've probably had so many matches where they're just like, okay, we're gonna just do this, that, and that, and we're gonna improv everything else.
It kind of feels like that because they have that chemistry to be able to do that, and um, you never see any rest holds. You never see anything where it looks like somebody's calling something.
Yeah,
It's I almost feel like it's almost like this instinctual kind of reaction because everything was flowing so beautifully throughout the match, and I was kind of noticing like there was selling, but there wasn't the type of selling and slow progression to the match that it was in Japan, which beneficial in some regards, but I think it the fact that there was less selling in this match than there was um in their match against Evil and Sonata, I thought worked. I think it worked better in this match because just the general animosity and the fact that they're getting pumped up and just the overall energy of the match, I thought worked a lot better.
Oh yeah, especially like to me, I'd say this is probably one of the more matches where the Bucks showed up and looked more credible because because the story with these teams has always been, oh yeah, the Briscoes are the top dogs in ROH. They're the top tag team. Especially when it comes to the Young Bucks coming out there because they're just a bunch of kids that jump around, and it's still a thing where Ring of Honor is still the Briscoes territory, but the Young Bucks still gave a good fucking fight, and it's gonna lead to another match. Maybe they could even bring back the ladder match for I don't know, Final Battle with these two teams, because that was a really big thing back in the 07, 08, 09 period where two teams had a big rivalry. They're just gonna do a ladder match.
I would honestly like to see them do a ladder match between just a ladder match. I mean, you could also bring in SoCal because they came in and made the save. So I was that like the beginning of a face turn for them, or do you think they were just kind of introducing themselves, being a third party, how the Dudleys, you had Edge and Christian versus the Hardys, and then you had the Dudley Boys. So that might be a Dudley Boys thing.
Yeah, I mean they're not
a three-way tag match.
They're probably just gonna interject Daniels and Kazarian, or even Scorpio could probably be thrown in there somehow. They're gonna do something different. As terms, they'll probably have those teams go at it. I think really, as good as Scorpio is, they should just do Daniels and Kazarian against the Bucks and the Briscoes. And again, why not do a ladder match? I know they have just done one not that long ago at Supercard of Honor, but compared from April into December, which that's where I'm going with this, why not? But anyway, the finish, that was when he did that wasn't when he did the J Driller, right? On the chair?
That was a kick out.
Yeah, that was a fucking wicked spot, too. And then Matt selling the neck the whole fucking time. I'm trying to remember what the fuck the finish was. Oh, God. Think stupid. It wasn't doing... Oh, what the fuck was it? Hold up. This was on... Mind you, everybody, this was on Friday. This is already Tuesday. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Fuck it.
Oh, it was a redneck boogie.
Oh, wait, redneck boogie. Oh, is that where it's like a neck bomb, like a neck breaker into a power bomb?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, that's
they hit it on Matt on Yeah. They got him up top, and then that was the finish. And then the SoCal comes out. They tease that they're gonna attack the Bucks along with them. They make the save, and then so it's either they're setting up a feud between SoCal and the Briscoes, or they're gonna just do a three-man thing. Which, not for nothing, I personally wouldn't be against them doing a cage match. How many times do you actually see a cage match in Ring of Honor?
Not a lot. From someone that's watched Ring of Honor almost periodically in the past decade and on and off since 2002. Not, I can name probably maybe about, I've seen maybe about at least 6 or 7 cage matches out of a 16-year company, which that's not a lot. That's really not a lot when you think about that.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it.
No,
It'd be a fun
it would be good.
stipulation.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. That would be different than a ladder match. So, but anyway, now we close off this show. We're talking about the main event, which was for the ROH Heavyweight Championship of Dalton Castle defending the belt against Cody and Marty Scurll. And Marty Scurll comes out with a revamped look per se and a remix of his old theme.
I dig it. To be honest,
I'm really
kinda,
fucking happy.
Yeah, you know what? When you came out, well, when he came out like that, I was like, the first thing I was thinking to myself, I remember you making the Bushwhackers comment when Jericho came out with the eye makeup, and I was like, yeah, no, Eric's gonna fucking really say and bring up the Bushwhackers now.
Oh no, you're thinking the Blade Runners.
With the eye makeup?
Yeah, you're thinking Blade Runners. Yeah, when it was Sting and Ultimate Warrior.
Well, that was the one that when you were talking about Jericho, right?
Yeah, you said Bushwhackers.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant though. I know what you meant, but yeah, no, yeah. I'm gonna eventually I'm gonna make a meme of Marty Scurll with the eye makeup next to Jericho. You got your new Blade Runners, people. Yeah, no, dude, no. I don't know. I still dig it. I dig the new music a lot better. The old one, it was kind of the old music was kind of, you know, it just ran its course. I'm glad they revamped it to more of like an orchestra sound. The eye makeup I'd assume was mainly just for this show. Cody got a little bit more of a huh?
Yeah, I don't think it's a permanent thing.
No, the music I think might stay though. Cody got it more of a revamped look in, you know, in Titantron. Fucking Brandy came out looking like $1,000,000 as always.
Yeah, no, I like also the storyline where they're like, oh well, Dalton's been putting his belt on the line, and he's been getting hurt. You know, had fucked up leg, and you know his ribs are all fucked up.
Yeah, I was convinced he was losing. I was really convinced that they were taking the belt off of him.
I thought they were gonna swerve us and have the belt go on Marty.
Yeah, I was thinking that for a split second too. I was like, okay, he's got this really fucking revamped look. Is he getting the belt? And then like I'm seeing Nick Aldis come out there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe they'll give it to Cody. Which, by the way, that made no sense. How it seemed like Nick Aldis was trying to help Cody, and then Cody attacks Nick Aldis. It's like, weren't you trying to focus on getting the win? You know, why are you going to try to take out Nick Aldis now?
It actually made it seem like he was trying to help Marty, as he pulled when Marty was in the middle of getting pinned by Dalton. That was when he pulled the ref out of the ring.
Right.
So it looked more like he was trying to help Marty win. Because, they have like that bond. So because they have been friends for for decades, and I think that was the storyline that they were trying to push.
You
Not
could be
that he was
right.
trying to help Cody. I think he was trying to help Marty win, and that and more he could put the belt on the line against Marty and have the match. I think it was less so that he wants anything to do with Cody. I think he wants the match against Marty. I think that's the storyline that they're trying to set up. Um, what do you think they're going to end up doing?
I'm
Do you
really
think they're going to drop the
confused.
belt for All In, or do you think they're going to end up doing a triple threat?
I'm really confused because does that mean now? I mean, obviously we have fucking 2 months, but does that mean as I say this, does that mean that Nick Aldis is still defending the belt against Cody? Does that mean that as of right now he's still not getting a shot?
They're gonna. I don't think they're gonna end up audibling this because they've been hyping it up for months, and it would be such a disappointment if they end up doing a situation where because we were all salivating for the idea of whoever wins is going not only going to just be NWA champion, but they're also going to be Ring of Honor champion. So this is one of the first times there's been like a major you know two promotion champion, and that's the thing that everybody's been kind of like chomping at the bit about. So if anything, they're going to end up making. They've had the storyline, for months now. So if anything, I have a weird feeling they're gonna pull an audible, and they're gonna have like either a triple threat or in maybe one of the house shows Cody's gonna go over.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, but before I stray away from this match any further, the match itself was a lot of fun. I liked Cody healing it up, especially getting the fucking powder. I know Marty's done that too, but I like Marty doing the crossroads. Totally unexpected though that Dalton was gonna. I mean, again, it makes sense to pin Marty. It's a good thing he didn't pin Cody because Cody's got to go fight Kenny this Saturday. Um. So yeah, but I tell you though, right as he got pinned, holy shit, were they getting fucking rushed off of pay-per-view. Dude, like he gets the pin, and then the fucking Ian Riccaboni announcer is like, Don Castle wins the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. Fans, we gotta go. See you next time. Happy wrestling, everybody. Bye.
Well, they knew the reaction. They knew people were pissed off about that.
No,
Well,
no, no,
I
no,
heard some reaction that people
no,
were
no,
sort of
no,
happy.
no. It's not the reaction. No, it's they got rushed off of pay-per-view because they were about to hit 12 o'clock.
Ooh, gotcha.
And which is I kind of got a little annoyed with because I got annoyed at it because of fucking of the cable providers because they'll give WWE all the time they want. Oh yeah, you guys want to bleed over another hour? Fine, we'll give it to you. Ring of Honor, you're about 1 second late.
Well, to be honest, it's
It's a lower market, I
WWE.
understand.
It's not fair because obviously we both know the situation. It's one is a $1 billion mega corporation, and the other is obviously has backers by a media a mogul, but at the same time it's not the same entity as WWE.
Absolutely.
So I kind of understand why they're rushing them off. At the same time, they kind of should have maybe one of the other matches they should have kind of cut a little bit. Like we didn't
Yeah.
need like 10 minutes of just like they could have shortened the fucking stupid match between like they could have found the time. They could have shortened like at the opener and then maybe a little bit of um the maybe cut a little bit of that Bully Ray match.
Well,
I
that
mean, it
bully,
already
you
was
can't
short, but
even
I mean,
because
like
yeah, the
all
segment.
the other shit, like you didn't need Cheeseburger fucking coming out.
Yeah, yeah. They could have again. They could have found the time. They could have. They have a weekly television deal. They could have whatever angles they were doing. They could have just did on the TV show the further after the pay per view. They could have done something because I don't know. To me, it's just. And I know, and I'm just nitpicking here. Don't take this fucking to heart, anyone. But to me, when you have the champion retain in a big fashion, and like the announcers like shoehorning his way off the air, it comes off as really fucking hokey. It's like Ring of Honor should have been a little more conscious of, hey, we gotta get this bell rang by like no later than 11:55. Like
It would have been nice, like the one thing I like about like New Japan is, and not even WWE does this, where they had the guy come out, he wins the belt or he defeats somebody and he wins this big championship bout, and they allow at least the guy to like go and do a fucking promo after the match and express his gratitude to the fans or his distaste to the fans or whatever the hell he wants to talk about. And that's the one thing I think a lot of these American promotions, especially WWE, should have the ability to like put the guy out there, let him do a little bit of a speech, a little bit of a celebration, because a lot of the time you don't really see these guys celebrating. Yeah, I mean the crowd does.
yeah,
Like the crowd, like you'll get the dark shit that most of the time the crowd doesn't necessarily see. But I mean not the crowd. I mean the people watching at home don't necessarily see. The crowd sees all that shit. Like when we were at Manhattan Mayhem, they were filming stuff for Being Elite that never ended up going on Being Elite for whatever reason. And we were treated to like this impromptu thing where they brought out Ian Riccaboni and had him sing and fucking suck. And then the entire Bullet Club did this like rendition of uh what the hell was it, Backstreet Boys.
yeah.
So situations like that, like sometimes the crowd is lucky to see extra shit, whereas you're paying a lot of money, especially for Honor Club, and you're not getting the full match qual, like you're not getting the full you know product when you're you know basically rushing to end the stream, the pay-per-view, whatever, and it cuts off like 2 minutes after the pin, and then rushing everybody off, and then Ian Riccaboni's go, oh, bye bye.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was just.
It's hokey.
It,
It's hokey.
yeah. To me, it's hokey. They could have made time, but whatever. Overall, what do you think of the pay per view?
If I was gonna grade it, I'd say a B plus.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B plus. You know, it's a
Nothing,
solid
nothing
show.
here.
I'd recommend it. And then
Nothing
obviously,
here that you're not gonna see like anywhere else. But there's nothing here that's
bad.
awful, terrible.
Yeah,
Everything here was solid. Everything was fun. There's nothing like uh, completely broken and stupid that you're you're scratching your head and saying, "What the fuck were they thinking?" So, no, nothing below average. It was just a solid card all along. Nothing major. Not their best, card of the year, and it promoted a bunch of their storylines going forward. So, whenever they come out with their next pay-per-view, I'm excited to go and watch it. Whenever I get the chance, and I'll definitely try to pick up the honor card. What the hell are they calling it?
What, the network?
Their network. It's what?
Honor Club.
Honor Club. Okay. For whatever reason, I was calling it Honor Club. Honor card. I mean.
Yeah, it's Honor Club. Yeah, dude, it's a good card. Even another thing too, for those that have Honor Club, they did put up the match from this past weekend. We're not going to talk about it here. We're actually about to just end this show, but we're going to mention it on the KTR. So everyone, tune into the KTR episode 111, I want to say, KTR. I believe we're at one. Yeah. So everyone tune into KTR 111, which will be on the download. Probably up by tomorrow around 4 o'clock Eastern time. So, but with that said, we're gonna end this here. Thank you all for listening here on YouTube, and we'll catch you for the next pay-per-view. So, KFATalkRadio.com, Facebook.com / KFA Talk Radio, all that good stuff. And yeah, till next time, everyone, keep it kayfabe.
Vicious.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of what you just heard, please go to KFATalkRadio.com, your official source for everything Kayfabe Talk Radio. You can find our links for iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, which is Facebook.com / Kayfabe Talk Radio, and our YouTube page. Our YouTube page features all live streams of Kayfabe Talk Radio weekly episodes, AM Thunder, which is our pay-per-view review show, as well as custom-made montages of pro wrestlers, mostly from New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Till next time, keep it kayfabe, bitches.